Hey guys, welcome back. It's episode 36 of GTNH New Horizons Garden of Grind, and just wanted to check in on my pace. I'm not even sure what I'm about to do. So last time we finished our experience fields, as I like to call them now. And we've already withdrawn everything we could from there, so it's zero now. And I think in about 20 minutes it's gonna fill up with its first essence berries. I'm looking at this farm of mine and I'm thinking of dismantling it entirely. The reasons you can probably guess. I don't know, it just doesn't feel right now that I have this working. Of course, the drops from those things are really important, especially the diamonds. But what I realized is that I'm gonna spend a lot more time fixing it every time this kind of thing happens. So I suppose let's go ahead and try to... I don't really want to dismantling it. Maybe while I'm waiting on those crops I can just work on fixing this thing for now. I'm not even sure what can be done to avoid that later. All of this happens because... Actually, there's a clue to what's going on. Look at the height of these things, at the level they're placed at. These cobblestone geodes or something. They're placed at exactly the same level, which can tell us that the explosion happened in like a parallel spot. You know, it's this corner and that corner of the base. Not the base, the farm. So something is eerie happening. Something eerie is happening here. I'm not sure what. So we have to go and figure that out. Of course, probably by toggling the peaceful mode, because otherwise... Oh, I already got the experience. Look. Well, it's 2. But it's gonna be a lot more. Well, I'm glad that it is here. I'm glad that it is here because it means that the whole transporting system works. Alright, so what's now? First of all, we have a severe food problem. Because I stopped dying and all of a sudden I need a lot of food to maintain my life. Fruit punch is interesting. Fruit salad. Yeah, hi larvae. Glad to see you. Yeah. So how are you doing, man? How's your... What were you doing last time? I forgot the thing you were doing. I remember you were automating rubber, right? But then something else. What's your current situation? What are you doing now? Oh, wait. I'm not muted. Can you hear me now? Oh, okay. I did turn down the mic just a bit because I have guests over at my house and I don't want any background noise disturbing my viewers. So just my voice is really a bit lower this time. That's true. That might have been the cause as well. So the problem is that I don't have food in this world. Yeah, it's probably that. What are you saying? A epic bacon that restores the whole hunger bar costs nothing but it costs nothing. It's just dyes that I can get through a thumb plant. I used to have a farm that would produce me every type of dye. But again, it's sort of, I need like 5 or 6 OP foods, and then I'll be able to survive the rest of my life without even worrying about it. Now I've only found one. So how many types of food do you need to continuously cycle between them? Is it like 6 or 5 or something? So that the first one restores the effects of the first one. Yeah. Actually, I've never thought that it's called Pam's Harvestcraft, and I've never thought that the actual author of this mod is actually Pam, a woman. I don't know, a lady. And recently she's had some troubles in her life, I guess. So she called the community sort of to help her or something. And there was the photo and everything. She's like a legit, I would say, human being, a woman being. And that was surprising to me that there are actual women that make mods for this game, and I gotta tell her that that she's great. The mod that she's created is, yeah, we kind of hate it because of that implications here, that we have to eat a lot of foods in order to become stronger and stuff like that, and sometimes these foods are limited because we eat only one type. But at the same time, I admire the amount of different things she created. Oh, it's something else, right? Oh, okay. Then the spice of life, yeah, we can blame that. Yeah, yeah, that is not good. But Pam's Harvestcraft, I was gonna say that the variety of foods that she created is actually maddening. You know, it's crazy. I wouldn't even think that someone's, maybe she's like a chef in real life or something, because there are so many types that you just can't stop being surprised, you know. So big props to her for doing all of that. It's actually very interesting, and it adds a lot of things to the game. I can imagine that if somebody one day creates a mod pack that like simulates the real life in Minecraft, I can imagine her mod being the center of like the restaurant industry, you know, that kind of thing. So there will be machinery which comes from Greg Tech, and then there will be restaurant business that comes from cooking food that's from her mod pack, from her mod, and I think she deserves that kind of attention to this, to her creation. Yeah, I don't really remember what happened to her. Maybe there were some just life difficulties. Oh, really? That's even worse. So what is our deal now? We're still at the start of LV, I would say, even though we have a lot of machines. It's nowhere close to MV. If we want to get steady at that tier, we need batteries. And batteries is duplication of antimony, or getting my first battery alloy nugget. I used to get order from wooden screws, aqua from the buckets, and the metallum from salt. So these three components will allow me to infinitely duplicate battery alloy ingot. But in order to do that, we must first get our first battery alloy nugget. One battery alloy is 1 antimony dust plus 4 lead ingot. Lead, as far as I remember, is obtainable through experience. No? What the? Wow, that changes everything. So no lead for us. Where do we get lead then? There's a lead comb. One of the first bees. Actually, not one of the first. Well, right now we don't have any lead. A lead about a lead that leads to a lead. Plumbum. Princess. Stanum. Botania, you're saying. Good luck. They changed it, right? In 2.8, they changed the Elven gates to lower tier, as far as I remember. Then there's a meteor that can get you all the ores that are from this mod, and that is really convenient. But I suppose it's really expensive at the same time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was thinking that I am rich because I can get battery alloy, but I didn't even realize that battery alloy is not possible because it requires lead, which is something that I cannot get anywhere. There's uranium, silver ore. Just getting a tiny bit of mana steel for a crossbow upgrade. Is that upgrade? Is that upgrade really that good that you have to dip into a mod entirely from scratch? Triples your durability. Can you just slap moss on your crossbow and never worry about durability ever? I'm all out ideas on how to get lead in this game. It's even worse than antimony, actually. Bees only. There's some sifting. Oh, you know what? Why I'm so stupid about it? Because I remember getting my crossbow, and it was already with moss modification because I chopped it out of a loot bag, and it already had it. So I never had that problem, and it also came with the bolts that were also covered with moss, so they regenerated, the amount regenerated itself over time. And I suppose there's a way to get moss in this game by... Oh, really? You typed in the wrong moss in the NEI, because if you look at a ball of moss from Tinker's Construct, it's just a thing. Oh, right, you need ants still. Actually, ants, wait. Those things come from witchery, as far as I remember, and they are quite... I remember I was sort of... yeah, the moss patch. You're correct. Well, all I'm saying is that I believe I had less troubles summoning them rather than diving into Botania. Oh, really? Because I remember I was like trying to figure out how to point those little brown boxes into the mana pool in order for them to, to work, to get that twig or whatever you had to use to control those things. And that took me quite a while to understand, but I remember those ends were like one of the first things that I was able to get. So again, it depends. Yeah, skill issue. Will an old hand tell me how to get lead in this game without getting lead? Why was most of my worries were about antimony, but not lead? It's like I already had lead in this game, but that's not true. I don't have lead. I do have lead. What? Where'd you get it from? I think I know. It's from the patch. Yeah, it had one of those. I forgot what he sells for gold coins. Those little things that you can smelt into 2 ingots. I think I got some lead from that. So patches are really useful. Lead cluster, yeah, but I think that's enough to get the battery alloy now. I just need. Yeah, or bees. I don't want to start bees at the moment. Not until I can get the tricoder, I think. Oh, no, not the tricoder, or bee tricoder. No, I need more than 1 lead nugget, because I cannot. Beelizer, yeah, I cannot get the nugget without getting an ingot at the moment. What does it want for me now? Antimony lead. Yeah. Oh, wait, what did I do? Soldering alloy is not. Antimony is more than. So, I think it's about time I craft centrifuge, because without it I can't. I can't get the antimony, and I need 10 soldering alloy. Ten soldering alloy is. 10 dusts is. I don't have that. Well, because I can get more through duplicating soldering alloy and then using the 10 soldering alloy dusts to centrifuge it into and get the antimony out of that. 1 dust is enough to kickstart the battery alloy production. Yeah, centrifuge is needed, and This is, four I forgot all the words in the world. 4 electronic circuits are also needed. Without them, this thing is not gonna make sense. Because this centrifuge here is total crap. It's not doing anything but the combs. So So 4 electronic circuits is just about 40 copper ingots. That's nasty. Terrawort. I suppose you get that from crossbreeding of crops. And I'm not there yet. It's like whenever somebody tells me something, I'm like, I'm not there yet. Where am I then? I don't even know what I'm doing. Right now, I'm spaced out or something. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I need. All I know is I need centrifuge for battery alloys and stuff. It's kind of a long shot, but I suppose what else can I do? Okay, yeah. I'll note that. 38. So what's more effective, to have a steam backlog or to have a energy backlog? What's more, I would say, compressed at that point? I guess 16 amp battery buffer is gonna hold a lot more than an iron tank with 5. It's a lot easier for me, but at the same time, if I'll ever be able to get all my batteries charged, then LV is free for me, right? At that point, time is the only resource I've got in abundance, so I think I should start this battery backlogging as fast as possible. No, it's not that I am waiting for my specific answer or my for somebody to sort of to agree with me. No. I was waiting for the opposite actually, because whenever I ask a question, there's usually someone smarter than me who knows something about something, and they usually say something I don't know. I was like wondering if you could say something like, no, Steam backlogging is a lot more efficient because you're gonna need like 3 16 amp buffers in order to outdo the iron tank that holds 500,000 Steam, something like that. Even though I know the math isn't correct, but I was, because you've been an eye opener for so many episodes already, Larvae, and I'm like, there were so many situations where I knew that something is impossible or cannot be. For example, I've never ever noticed that crafting Pam's water would give the iron bucket back. I thought those ate the buckets, and for some reason it's not the case. And I was so surprised because of that. Every 2 Steam is 1. Is at least a couple of millions, right? Supposed to be a couple of million Steam, maybe even more. I like seeing millions at LV, you know. Oh, actually, another problem that I didn't account for is where the hell am I gonna get lithium now? I do have gas tiers that I can spin in a chemical reactor. That can give me a bunch of lithium, but hardly enough for even a... Actually, wait, what am I doing? But the max size iron tank is gonna take so much space. I know that space is in abundance as well, but... So you're supposing that max iron tank is 4 times better than 60 amp battery buffer? Is that what you're saying? There's also cadmium, but... oh, single LV battery, or single LV battery buffer. I think you're about to sell me on that, because I'm kind of trying to see the ways of getting lithium, and the only good way for me is by... oh, another quartz centrifugation. Okay. I hear you. You did it where? In GOG? That is the only explanation for why you used gas tiers to get lithium. Didn't you just want to dig stuff? Lithium, it's in... small lithium battery requires 2 lithium. There's sodium battery though, and sodium is just salt, in electrolyzed salt. but not the PAM salt. Not the salt that that you can get through water. That's sad. Yeah. You mean the sodium batteries, right? I'm kind of sad that you cannot do anything with PAM salt, the salt that you get from water. I don't know, maybe then we shouldn't focus on getting the centrifuge. Maybe instead we should focus on getting more crop managers. Salt. Yeah, there's an OP salt B that gives a lot of salt. That is a free path to sodium batteries. I didn't want that. I barely have all I have is 11 gas tiers throughout the entire run. Mm-hmm. That's some nasty math. Okay, then, what do we do? Actually, it's strange that I did build a sensor, but for some reason it wasn't counted. Yes, it's better. Maybe we should just work on Steam instead. On steel, I would say. By the time I get 288 gas tiers, I will have already be at HV or something. Where do I get infernals? If my farms keep looking like penises every now and then. I was gonna destroy that anyway. You're very brave with your theories, and one of the reasons is that you're not the one that's gonna apply them. You would be a lot less vocal about all these, all that math if that was your world. Oh, really? You're gonna say that? Oh, really? Okay. I was just thinking about it today, not specifically about you, but I remember there was a streamer that I rated. This guy was in MV. He played also GOG. I don't remember his nickname. And the guy did like 64 BBFs, these dudes. And at one point I thought that I was able to play without this spam before. I'm probably gonna play it without it now. And I realized that some people that play GOG, they are severely mentally, I wouldn't say incapacitated. What's the word actually? So they're not crazy. They're severely crazy. You know, I would say they've got some mental impairments or something. It's not to say that it's bad, because I can see how that helps them to motivate them through such crazy theories and stuff of building like 256 EBFs or something because they wanted more steel. Yeah, and I believe some of those people might be, I don't want to say the word, but you know, people that see things where other people don't see them. They're like a bunch of illnesses or whatever you can call it, like OCDs and stuff, compulsive disorder, right? It's when a person, I don't even know what it does. I guess it's when a person can focus on something for many hours and not feel distracted or anything. Or even maybe it's the opposite of that. I don't know a lot about medicine, but okay. Might as well just never say anything about anything, since I don't know shit about this world. I'm kind of disappointed that I never guessed what the actual thing is. All I know is I got some knowledge that is scattered around at the corners of my brain, and I'm trying to puzzle it all up. Yeah, what's weird about this thing is that people claim they have it, and then they say different symptoms every time, so a person like me that observes it from afar doesn't even know what the hell that shit means, you know? That's what I'm trying to say. I've got OCD, I can blah blah blah. Like this, I can, they can do a lot of things. Yeah, over and over and over, and yeah, that kind of reminds me of when a person can build BBFs over and over and over until it's like 64 of them or something. Yeah, self, what's it called, like diagnosing, right? I don't know why I need the second one. I got one, it's GOG, and I'm happy that it doesn't even work now. I don't care. Like, you want steel? I can just dupe that in a Thaumcraft crucible. I don't care. Focused. But how can you stay focused for 68 hours? Because that's the exact amount of time you have to spend to build all the 64 BVFs. You don't just lose focus, you lose life doing that. Now I feel kind of trapped with the progression. I was compulsively obsessed with solar panels, and I would build a stack of solar panels, and that would feed my base entirely at like different tiers, starting from HV and finishing with LUV, I think. I remember when I built my first fusion reactor, my base was solely charged or powered by solars only. I had a stack of solars. That was it. And I think it's also sort of it's also a thing that you have to be very focused about, because those guys cost like crazy, every solar panel. So I would have to craft like 8 stacks of IV circuits or something, like in a batch, and then I would spend it all on getting the solars and then some other things. Yeah, I understand. Now that I'm thinking that batteries are really something that I cannot get at the moment due to different factors, I don't think I have a problem with Steam at the moment, so might as well just focus on getting more steel for whatever. Maybe just for upgrading the tank. Maybe for future So you've been playing for 7 hours already. That's kind of crazy. Last time I did that, I almost lost my vision. I remember that by the end of that stream, that 9-hour stream, my eyes were burning. Usually that doesn't happen ever, even if I sit for 16 hours straight. Oh, wow. You are something. But then something happened. What do you think? Is it worth it to research a thing that says it's a taboo knowledge? I know that it gives warp, but maybe it's fine if I just do one, because there's a hidden recipe in witching gadgets that allows you to duplicate steel ingots instead of turning iron ingots into the steel ingots. Oh, the nuggets. I mean, so is it worth it to go for metallurgic perfection? I know that it also opens a lot of possibilities, like duping uranium and stuff, and later tiers nuggets. But doing all of that just for steel, I'm afraid I'm gonna cause some problems. Yeah, I cannot imagine. For example, my work isn't 12 hours a day, but it's kind of like about half of it. But it's quite intensive, I would say, and I can imagine streaming every other day for like 3 to 4 hours max. If I go beyond that, I'm gonna be burnt out, and I will not get enough sleep, and that's gonna ruin my life. And I'm not a guy to power through all of that, so I'll give up pretty easily and go back to normal, I think. I generally don't like the feeling of wanting to sleep. That's not for me. Some people like go crazy about sleep deprivation. They somehow function on 2 hour sleep every day. I can't. I literally turn my head and the vision turns after a second, you know? I don't know how to explain that. It's like when you look at something, you lock your eyes on that, and only in about a second your brain starts to realize that you're actually looking at that thing. That's what I would explain when you haven't had enough sleep. For example, you haven't slept in 24 hours, or even if you when you're drunk. I have the same feeling when I'm drunk. It's when you turn your head, only then your consciousness begin to process what happened. It's like a 1 second delay, and I hate that feeling. So this stream, I think I'm gonna be collecting resources, trying to duplicate as many steel or iron ingots as possible. And when I have a better head, I mean, when I'm fresh, I'll be able to think clearly on what I need to do. But right now, we can only function as robots that can just do some physical manual labor. Nothing creative or anything. I do like to look at quest book, thinking my progression routes. I think over time during my last run, I spent about 100 hours at the very least looking at the quest book. I also want to get a better alloy smelter because this one is slow as shit. Steam fuser. 26 bronze plated bricks in GOG. It's about 150 plus bronze, and then some. 125% speed, 62.5% speed steam usage. But since that is in parallel, it means if I put 8 something something in that, it's gonna use 8 times 62.5% steam, right? So it's still a lot more than just the alloy smelter that I have now. Are they nuts or something? Why is there borosilicate glass in it? Is that Is that like mandatory? Can I just go with the one that's easier to craft, which is the EV tier glass? That's the one that looks like Windows reinforced glass. I think. Can I get that instead of borosilicate? Because I have a I think it's, yeah, you need like glass plus boron. And boron is so deep. No. It's not a vibe to build a steam fuser. Yes, it's cool, it's good. Everybody knows it's awesome because this and that, but we're in GOG. We can't get 200 bronze out of my ass. I don't poop that, you know. But an alloy smelter that's LV is probably going to serve me. This is gonna serve me. I think I'm going to concentrate on that now. Oh, what am I saying? Wait. Actually, there's a high pressure thing. Is just twice as fast, I think. Whatever. I want the steam one. I want the LV one, I guess. So 2 LV circuits. Okay. Good to know that, but I still don't have the money for this fuser thing. BRB, right? Enjoy your meal. So let me remind myself. So 2 metallum to dupe that. Metallum is edible salt. Actually, let's research some crafts. Look at some crafts that I can get from edible salt. Well, the zombie jerky seems to be okay, but it only uses half a hunger point. Fries are good. All you need is bakeware, mashed potatoes. Oh no. I think I need that thing closer. The one with the cooking pot. And then I need my buckets. 15 buckets. I wonder if I can daisy chain the water tanks, so that the upper. Oh, actually, I should not cover this ceiling of that. Huh. I mean, if I can daisy chain them, then the last one would be full all the time, because the other ones would just give it water to it, and I don't think that's how it works. I think every tank is on its own, you know. All right, let's leave some water for the crucible itself, and we can have some salt. Each salt is for iron. We need 2 iron to duplicate. So 2 iron nuggets equals 1 salt for duplication. 2 iron nuggets equals 1 salt. So in order for that math to work correctly, we're gonna need 2 stacks of iron nuggets for 1 stack of edible salt, or 1 stack of iron nuggets, which is what we have. 1 stack of iron nuggets for half a stack of edible salt. That's the math, right? Yes. So I get 2 stacks. I was supposed to get 3 stacks. For some reason I didn't get 3 stacks. Strange. Well, the water's over now. We did get some iron. Let's leave 2 stacks here, and the rest is gonna go to the here. Slow as hell. So LV is gonna be 10 seconds per recipe. Still slow, but better. But still slow. So what do we need? Copper. It's probably the only thing we need at the moment. has sound designer. Yeah, that's amazing game. Don't have any mazes at the moment though, but wow. The thing is broken as... Gravel creeper that blew up here. Let's just clean the insides. I lost a bunch of spectral glass having this happen to the farm. I don't know why it's happening, but it's something I don't like, and perhaps we should rework the... We should probably rework the layout. Maybe that's what makes them not like each other. But again, the fight is happening inside this pan, not in the chute or anywhere else. Just here. That's kinda crazy. Should have brought more stone with me. I can't even imagine the situation in which they would want to kill each other while they're falling from this through the spectral glass. But I do remember one peculiarity, though, is when I was down there at my base, I only tested the spectral glass. I remember I would make it instead of my I would put it instead of my floor, so the floor planks would be changed into the changed to the spectral glass, and I would see the creeper falling through that glass and receiving 1 damage, which means that we start to I don't know, model this usual scenario where witch starts to throw potions because it was damaged, and by throwing damaging potion or any other potion at one of those creepers that can do harm to my farm, I believe that that witch would receive damage here, somewhere falling through the first spectral glass, and then through the second one getting 2 instances of damage, and then jumping back and forth on this ebbing water that's making them close to the center, but it's not it's not like, wait. So they all end up here in this water, and that's where they blow up. That's where the whole fight is happening between them, because they're damaged by the glass, and they can't be docile anymore, so they want to kill each other and they destroy the farm. That's the situation. I understand now. How do we counter that? Here's the idea. Well, actually, I don't have an idea. Is there meant to be an idea that can fix that? That's why they use fans, right? Because fans wouldn't make them fight each other in here. That would make cleaning the whole spot if it happens down there. The cobblestone geode, it would make cleaning a whole lot better, because I would need to clean only the chute. It's a 2-minute thing and no water involved. Or even if it's some water, I can just drain it with dirt blocks and never worry about it again. Fan. I remember it needs an electric motor, which is just, I wouldn't say it's an MV thing, because I can get copper nickel pretty easily. I can even get the copper cables, and the aluminum rods are the only thing that I can't get. In order to get aluminum, is there like a workaround somewhere? Aluminum tank. I know that there are dudes in Twilight that can drop these things. Maybe we should farm them instead. All I need is I don't know, about 16 aluminum ingots. I want to place 4 fans each in every corner. Maybe we should focus on getting to Twilight and then making like a small little farm in there. Small scale farm. I've got 2 spikes I can use. Golden ones. Four LV circuits, and then torchberries. Oh, I understand now. Cobalt. 15% only. %, but it's slime beetle. Yeah, no other way, just that. Even through the aluminum comb, I just get the dust, which then I have to I'm gonna stop the water for now. But again, fans aren't gonna help, because when these mobs fall, they get damaged anyway, and fans will be able to position them closer to the shoot, but not in like a second. It would take more time to get them there, so there will be fights anyway. And I'm afraid that so maybe the only way to actually make this farm work is just by having, like, not the spectral glass, but just the layers of cobblestone, and then they would get pushed into the chute starting from here, starting from that top, and then they would. That's how they would get instantly killed by the spikes without any interactions between each other. We need to test this thing. Okay. Finished clearing out this spot. I don't know what to do with this farm right now. I mean, if I don't change anything, it's gonna happen again for the third time. And what I noticed that the explosion happened here again after it has already happened here. So I would clear before I clear out the water. I already cleared out the water before, and now I had to do it again in this spot, which means that the explosion happened here again, and I could do nothing to stop it. If I leave it like that and turn on the hard mode, mobs are gonna kill it again. If I destroy the spectral glass, though, I think that's what I need to do. I need to get rid of spectral glass entirely. This way the mobs will never be aggroed to each other, because there will be no damage. And those that spawn here, I can actually block the spawn by just torching the whole thing. Can I get on top of this? Yes. I can turn raw human meat into mincemeat, and then I can make... Where's this super thing that I was... No, you can't? There's like a dye food. Yeah, this one. So, you need firm tofu. Oh, cooked mincemeat. So, cooked human flesh is epic bacon. So, when the epic bacon is getting eaten 5 times in a row, all I can do is die and reset the count, and that way I'll be able to survive for much longer. It's gonna be much more effective. All I need is dyes, and I think I can get those through Thumbcraft. special plant, which is like cactus. I can definitely solve food problem. Now the levels are not a problem because I'm storing them in the form of berries. Whenever I need anything, I can just eat some of those. You know what I can try to do? It's gonna be crazy, but I believe it might work. It's going to be crazy, super ineffective, but I can definitely see it working. Alright, every second black block maybe. Yeah, like that. I know it's not a lot, but mobs will be appearing here, for sure. And this way, at least I'll have some kind of income. Bad. Didn't think about it. Now it's good. So this chute is gonna work because there's no light and there are there are many different layers. Each layer can spawn a mob on top of it. All we need now is to light up this area here. It's not going to be... It's just going to be one mob every minute or something. But it's not stagnating, at least, while I'm trying to figure out my next move about this farm. So let's check some other spots. I think we're good now. Peaceful mode off. Let's speed up our dying. There's really nothing I can do now. At least we got the raw human meat, which we'll need later. let's see what dyes we have. So it needs red, purple, orange. We have no red. We have purple. We have orange. We don't have yeah, we do have orange, and we do have red. It's just that I was clicking the wrong one. We got the light blue, we got the lime, we got the yellow, and we've got the pink. Let's see, we need magenta. No magenta for us. How do you get magenta? What kind of flower do we need to kill to get that? Oh, it's just some red, some white, and some blue. Red, white, and blue. Okay, what about that flower though? Isn't it alchemy? Yes, I can see it now. So a red lawn is also really useful. And Aurelia. There's a that's a forbidden knowledge, so we're not touching it. And I need scribing tools and some paper to get that going. All right. Did that even connect? Yes, it did. Let's go straight up ahead till we get the heart. Okay. Now the look room is just this greed thing that turns into life, that turns into greed. Then that can be just connected by some fire, I guess, plus this thing and that thing. And can we make it like that, like in a circle motion without ever touching the center? So let's look at the census now, which is the owl. It needs some people just build different. One of them. Just such a heavy route, such a difficult route to get all these researches. Alright, so we need melon seeds plus some bullshit on top of that. Problem problem is that we don't have melon seeds. Oh my god. No, no, no. Not even a melon slice. Well, I can go down and hunt a bunch of slimes for that. It's not a problem for me. There's a slime, but it's not a melon slime. It's an explosion slime and it's about to die. More slimes, please. There's a pumpkin though. Oh my god. Maybe we should move our thing that's called charcoal pile igniter into my new base. All I need is to somehow gather all the bricks. Okay, this first line is not a problem. Oh, there's slime. There's a red thing here and I think it's a slime and I can even hear it. No. But that was in the melon one. Now I just have to be careful that I pick up every brick block from here. Oh my god, that was so stupid of me. Did I catch the last one? I think I didn't. I don't care. I see a slime. I don't see a slime. The idiot decided to jump off the roof. See another one? Okay, that's a good one. This is what we need. That's the fruit slime. No, it's the redstone one. So we have to roll every type to get the right one. It's gonna be the last type of slime. Wow. There's a garden drop. Tropical garden that gives us melons. Also a villager trade. Let's see, what if we get what if we have a villager trade that does melons? Then I guess it's over with. I need to bother the ones that look like silicon, really. I can do with raw silicon. Can that be, yeah, that's just silicon. You're saying not a single butcher or whatever that is. What do I need? Farmer, not a single farmer or villager in here? Well, I see one. This dude's selling bread. The other one sells pecan sapling. baked potatoes. Did we complete? Oh, we didn't complete the quest for baked potatoes. We can get melons from there. Okay, good. I am smart. So I also plan on moving that guy, which is Tinker's Smeltery, but I need more space for that. I don't think I have what it takes. But we'll try. I'm willing to lose everything I have inside. I believe there's nothing important in there. I also know that destroying the controller is the only way to avoid everything that's inside. Did you see there were like cracks appearing on the texture of molten iron, which means I was destroying it, and I did destroy it. I can actually put everything in here and just, you know, sort of dolly that thing up there. All I'm worried is about these 4 blocks, or 9. I know where to get one. Very interesting episode, not gonna lie. We didn't do anything. Well, we just waited for some ore berries to get us some experience. I believe there should be over 500 by now of those essence berries. I really want to check that now. Really want to see the numbers, the money. got 8 more syrup bricks, so that's more than enough for us. Yeah, let's worry about that quest. Baked potatoes. Who would have thought that it would save our run now? So, stick in a baked potato. Wish we had a potato though. We don't have a potato. I hope that my farm has one, because sometimes it does have potatoes. So was there any mobs at least that spawned in here while I was away? Potato, potato, I'm not seeing a potato. Sad. No potatoes. I don't know why this doesn't work. Maybe the area is too small. It's 2x2 blocks. Difficulty is hard. I don't know what's the deal. I need the baked potato, man. Oh my god. Where can I get potatoes? Bunch of quests. Oh, there are mobs. I can see them now. Why isn't it dying? There's a glistening melon though. It gives us gold. But there's no way to unenchant the melon to get the seeds. Why is the dude stuck? Is it somehow on the roof now? Because an explosion caused one of the blocks one of the slabs on the roof to die, to get destroyed. Flowery flurry. Did we complete that? I think we did. Which one do I? No. Yes. Completed. No way to get potatoes. Fresh milk. I wonder what that gives us. Okay, if there are cooking coins, those might sell something important to us, like what? Why didn't I leave a single potato somewhere? I'm so amazed by my own playing sometimes. Because I was eating everything without even looking anywhere. Uh, 500 I said? Let's check if that's true. 782? What? That's about 12 stacks of that thing. Well, it does correlate to 2 hours of AFK gameplay, so good numbers. There is a berry garden. It doesn't have anything good. Maybe we can have a potato here. Oh, no one sells a potato. It's just a ground garden thing. Sure. Red banana. Grafter. Do we just wait for the slimes to spawn again? That can take a while. So what if we... No. Maybe that chest might have something. Or the one that's below. Oh, actually, there can be a potato. I totally believe in that because there's one chest buried underneath all of this crap. That can contain a potato. I don't want to tea that. I just want to look at it myself. See if that gives anything. There isn't a potato. No, my god. Not a melon, not a potato, nothing. Crazy stuff. What do we have? Nothing useful. And this chest. Also useless. Wow. That indeed is bad. Really, really bad. Well, I don't want to wait for no slimes to spawn. Those, we have better luck enabling our farm again to its full speed and just playing with fire. I mean, we don't have a choice. Let's go up there and do it. Place those layers of spectroglass again. Hopefully this will give us enough time to get the potato, and then I'll probably be able to disable this farm again, or just let it work before it breaks down again. Why is that a problem here? So we need to destroy the chute first, but we don't have blocks. And we need to design the thing, and we need to get water. Water I can get from one of these spheres here. Also, I think this time the setup should be tri-layered. What is a smart word here? Was it supposed to say triple layered? Everything is useful. Cannot decide what to throw away. Also, I'm thinking that I should be probably finishing the episode soon. Steamy is going really good. I didn't do anything about Steam. All I did was thinking about what to do and waiting for some very minor things like For example, I decided that I really need that plant that makes dyes, you know, from Thaumcraft, and that needs what spike do I have now? What kind of spike? You don't get like power spike, or the spikes? I have the diamond ones, but not half of them are diamond, half of them are golden, because I wasn't able to get more diamonds to get the second set of diamond spikes. And actually, that myth about mobs giving me Thaumcraft drops like treasure bags if they die off of a diamond spike is not true, because I tested for many hours and not a single treasure bag dropped. So must that be a coincidence? I don't know. So tell me if that thing somehow works on Thumb mobs, because I don't believe that anymore. Just for levels? Or to get the needed enchantments on the spikes? So I'm gonna use one layer in here. Let me just get up there. I think one of the flaws of my base, of my mob farm, is that the corners with water are not... they don't make mobs flow. The other water sprites do, but the corners themselves, mobs can just jump on those water sources and never fall. That's how I see it. What if I'm able to fix that? Yeah, probably a slab on top or something. No? Well, actually, that's not gonna work because I have glass on top, so they're gonna fall onto the slab. Maybe I can just embed a water source into a corner that is not acceptable for the majority of the space in the farm, you know? But then again, I'm widening my whole flow, and that means that the ends of that flow won't be able to reach the center of the farm, which I now have perfectly calculated. I don't even need the science. It is that good for me. What's your idea, Larvae? No solid blocks should be on top of the source, because then they're just gonna stand there. But at the same time, the source should be fully covered. Raising the source one block higher would work, but it would increase your water flow, so it's a bit alternatively, if you played around with science, you could make it work. I don't think raising is gonna help, since I don't know, it's gonna make the mobs stand in the water, right? How are they gonna move from the source? Usually I have a vision for such things, but this time maybe it's the problem with my knowledge, the skill issue as you say it. co-creative. I think it's pretty simple. We just don't think in such categories, you know. We have to do something about our way of thinking. Well, I have to do something about my way of thinking. So imagine there's a source of water. Interesting, but you can think in math. Wow. But you were able to imagine, even though you did it, the whole thing, you were able to imagine the exact amount of lithium you need for, and gas tiers that you need for the batteries. That was crazy. Math isn't image. Well, actually, if you look at it, when you drop, when you fall into a corner with the water source, it's sloped already. So when you fall as a player and you don't move, you just get moved automatically. So I don't see a problem here now. But the mobs do die on that water slide anyway. For some reason, I know why. I've already calculated everything and imagined a lot of things. When mobs fall through the spectral glass, they get damaged. One instance of damage through every block that they go through, or every instance that when they go through a block like that. I've seen that number, red 1, and that proved this theory that they do have damage, do receive damage over time, over going through spectral. Well, I understand, but now we realize that it's not the case. So sorry, larvae, you're. I don't think I'm gonna do that because it's very complicated, and at the same time, I know that mobs are not gonna stagnate here. They're just gonna move on because the water still pushes them because the sources are sloped. Even in your world, they're sloped. So what I was saying is that whenever mobs go through spectral glass, they get damaged. And because of that, certain mobs aggro, like witches. And they start shooting and fighting other mobs. And if that's a creeper and if that's a nasty creeper that we don't like, the one that makes geodes spawn, then it's a bricked farm. The only way to deal with that is by getting the fans. I'm just gonna wait for a potato. Okay. But anyway, that's not the main problem why my farm was so bad. The main design flaw is the water that's underneath, because and the spectroglass. But it's all kind of connected. Spectroglass damages the mobs. Mobs start fighting in the water. while they try to avoid getting flushed into the drain. I'll wait for the aluminum. I'll get it soon enough. I plan to invest the next 4 electronic circuits into a portal to the Twilight Dimension. And then we'll see. Maybe we'll make a little farm there and just farm the ingots, aluminum ingots. I hope they didn't. They said they were gonna fix that or something, but I can still see that in the drop chart, so it's still there. Kobolds are the guys that drop those things. It's something like 15% chance, I think, that they can drop it. Alright, well, I guess I'm gonna continue next time. Today I'm kind of have to go now. It was a pretty short stream, but I like it this way. I like when streams are short. It's just sometimes I get so sucked into the situation that I can't stop. And I believe that streams over 3 to 4 hours are unhealthy. And next time I'm going to try to go to Twilight Forest. Yeah. Get that potato. Get the red lawns and other good thumb crops that will help me with the progression. And then I don't know, there's a lot of things to think about, and what's important is that I have over almost 1,000 concentrated essence berries collected over one stream. So 2 hours means about 14 stacks of that, which is about 70 something levels, or that can be imagined as almost 2 stacks of copper, I think, maybe 1 stack and a half. So that's a good thing. Of course we should make more fields, at least 4 fields of essence berries, so that the flow is constant, and then some other berry fields, or some other fields with something else. I'm not sure what else I should do. Maybe some bread crops. Alright, but for today it's gonna be it. Thank you all for watching, especially thank you for Larry for the pieces of advice that you gave me, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, guys. I don't believe that's worthy. This time it's worthy of rating, because we got like not a lot of viewers and followers. So yeah, just take care, and goodbye. See you next time.